We found this officially licensed Catan Cookbook at our local library, and we're like, how did they make Catan the board game into food? Oh gosh, Catan is entering the kitchen.
I'm glad you have that much confidence in this cookbook. I have less.
Our resident cook, Pranav, and I, the board game reviewer, set out to make 5 dishes for a 5-course meal, and finished them all in a single day, including shopping, of course. And we got to eat it and see everyone's scores on the dishes at the end, so let's get cooking.
Hey, I've never made a recipe to specification before in my life.
Alright, welcome to Shelfside's first cooking video. Today we're testing out the Catan Cookbook right here. We have 5 recipes picked out, which forms a full 5-course meal. We have an appetizer, which is going to be our caramelized pear tarts. We have a risotto for our main dish. Our side's going to be a vegetarian chili. We have punch for our drink, which will be an interesting one. And then we have hexagonal-shaped cookies. Catan.
Yeah, we're gonna make all the recipes exactly to the specification, which is big for me. I've never made a recipe to specification before in my life. It tells you like exactly how much of each spice you have to put, and I think that's a crazy concept. A lot of fresh ingredients in our dishes, which I'm really excited about. Not as many spices as I would personally put in my dishes.
1 pint of button mushrooms? What are button mushrooms?
If you have your subcard, please scan it now.
Do not.
So we're gonna start cooking. We have all of our ingredients for everything that we're making out in front of us. The first thing I wanna do is batch all the ingredients out into the amounts that I need for each thing. The mushroom risotto is called in the book, the forest mushroom risotto. The first thing it requires is a 10-minute soak of the mushrooms. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and start that soak before I start preparing everything else.
This is our exotic mushroom mix. A pint of these mushrooms, rinsed and sliced. Lemon is behaving poorly. Alright, we're starting with the onion here and 1 tablespoon of the butter. Let's go ahead and get just the onion in. Some of the parsley is getting in there with it. I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. Let me get an actual spatula to mix this with.
This is how we know Pranav's actually doing it.
Like, this is not bad, you know? Like, you can do it.
Not bad, you know? Like,
it's not good for your hands, but, you know. For some reason, my fingertips really hurt. We're waiting for these guys to soften, which will take a few minutes. I'm actually gonna turn the heat down because I don't want them to burn. To this, we're gonna add the mushrooms, and we're gonna wait for the mushrooms to brown a little bit, which is interesting. 16 teaspoons of this wonderful stock that Ashton's mom has provided for us. 1.
Oh, I can smell the onions.
4, yeah. So we're just tossing in these, oh wait, first a little bit more butter. Let's get that like really coated in the pan there. And all these mushrooms. Now we're gonna move on to the next step in the risotto, which should be adding the rice into there. So we wanna let the rice get nice and toasty in here. It's gonna take about like 2 minutes. We should be able to smell it pretty quickly. Well, you guys won't be able to smell it, but I will. This is pretty toasted, so it's ready for us to start adding stock to it. So first, this is the water that we used to soak the mushrooms in. We're gonna add all of this, cup of this. It's gonna have some Parmesan in it, but that's okay. Also the lemon zest and the thyme go in now too. So let's make sure this gets a nice stir. The water gets all in there. We're gonna wait for all the stock to reduce, get absorbed by the rice. And then once that happens, we're gonna add another cup of the stock. And then we're gonna keep doing that until we either run out of stock or until the rice is the exact texture that we want it, which is, according to the book at least, cooked but still has a little bit of bite to it, which is what you expect of risotto. Now what we're gonna deal with is the chili. So I'm gonna go open up the cookbook, see what they want me to do for the chili, and then I'll get back to you guys. Whole page, but 3 instructions. This is how you make a good chili. It's just saute all of the stuff, add some spices, and then add all the beans. Wonderful. I feel like using only 1 chili in a chili is a little bit immoral. I really want to put a little bit of butter in here. I know I'm supposed to do the recipe exactly as it is, so I'm not going to, but I really want to put a little bit of butter in. All of this stuff. Waste not, want not. Ooh, it's a lot. One thing that I'm gonna do right now, and don't tell the cookbook, is I'm gonna add a little bit of salt into the vegetables now. It'll help them cook a little bit faster because it'll yoink the moisture out, and then also I think it'll add to the flavor too. So don't tell them, but I'm gonna do it.
I can put a lot of salt in this, it'll be fine.
Ashton's saying there's a good chance that the creator of this cookbook watches it. At which point I want to say, I think you did a very good job compared to a lot of other cookbooks I've read. A lot of the instructions here are actually really easy to follow, which is pretty cool. All right, we're gonna go in with 1 more cup of stock. Roughly, just to get things cooking a little bit faster in here. Add a little bit of stock in.
Whoa, okay.
It's mushrooms. It's
Heresy.
It's mushrooms. Okay, I'm not doing too much different, don't worry. That probably won't even add to the overall flavor.
All right, we have the chili cooking over on this side, and we have the risotto cooking over on this side. So let's start making the drink now. We're gonna be making the Victory Point Punch, which promises a 10-minute prep time.
My dad kindly picked a bunch of oranges for us.
That's along with the orange concentrate. Optionally, you could add vodka or rum according to the instructions. And then we're gonna add the club soda, oranges, and cranberries. So let's start here with these oranges, the cranberries. It's 4 cups of club soda. 2. And then this should perfectly fit in this pitcher. Not that I measured it.
Yes!
Boom! 4. Look at that. I'm gonna let it all soak for a little bit, like 15 minutes or so. Bundle of rosemary in there because I forgot to earlier.
We're gonna go and toss the cumin in. Time for the best part of every chili, dumping stuff in. So we got beans, we got fire roasted tomatoes. Chili is such a wonderful dish. The recipe says to let it cook uncovered for 30 minutes, so now I'm just gonna let it cook for a little while.
So, I'm a little scared for both of the things that we have to bake. We're gonna move over to the thing that's scaring me the most, the caramelized pear tart. I'm a little worried because we don't have the tart shells, so we're gonna try using these puff pastry sheets and make them. We're gonna see how it goes though. I forget that with these really curated recipes, you need a lot less stuff to really get the flavors to pop, because you get the chance to like really make sure it works correctly. Whereas when I'm like, you know, haphazardly throwing together a recipe from the fridge, I toss like tons of spices and stuff in there because I don't have like a specific balance that I'm trying to achieve. I just want it to taste good, because all the stuff is like tasting a lot better than I expected, which is cool.
Oh, it doesn't look like a chili. It looks like
like
a stew.
Maybe not even a stew, like, I don't know. All right, first taste of the chili. Smells really good. You know, not bad. It's got some sweetness to it, which I really like. What we're thinking of doing is adding the mushroom broth to add a little bit more liquid to it. I think I'm definitely gonna do that. Chili, done. I'm just about to finish the risotto as well. So the rice has absorbed most of the water. It's pretty good here. It's been cooking for a good while. The thyme has been in here for a while, so I'm gonna grab some of the thyme pieces out. This is the rest of the risotto, mixing in all the wild mushrooms, the peas, and the Parmesan. Let's hope it all fits in this pan. It's a pretty big pan too. There's a lot of risotto. That's really good. Dang, that's really good. The chili is done, risotto is done, and the juice is done, the punch. So, 2 more things left and we're done for today. We're gonna go over and start making these customizable hex cookies. I think this is what I'm meant to do. I don't know what it means to cream butter. I should Google that. And then a little bit of vanilla, teaspoon, which is... Those look horrible. All right, we're about to put these in the oven. That's one. I'm just gonna make this into a thin dish. Probably here. Cool.
All right, chef.
We're gonna take out the puff pastries, and I think this is the first mistake we made. We should have just gone to a different store and bought the puff, like the the pastry things that we needed, the little tins. What I'm gonna have to do now is I'm just gonna carve out the center so we can fit the filling inside there, and it's gonna taste good because it's cheese and pears and sugar, but it's not what it was intended to be. So we're gonna start making the filling for the pear tarts. So I'm gonna start by caramelizing the pears, and then I have to chop up some walnuts. Should be another like 5-10 minutes of cooking here, and I think that then we're done with the stove, which is big. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. It kind of looks like a shepherd's pie. Is that what it is? Yeah, right? It's vegetarian, but I'm curious. I think it'll still taste good because it's a lot of sugar and butter. This is the cookie dough. It's been resting for just about half an hour. We're gonna roll this out. Then I'm going to grab one of the Catan tiles, wrap it in saran wrap, use it as a template, and cut out hexagonal shaped cookies. It's kind of difficult too.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! All right. Oh my god. I don't know if this one's gonna be a hex.
This is really difficult.
Yeah.
Note to the author, I am not sure what I did. Okay. But it's technically a hexagon.
Yeah.
Might not be the same dimensions as the thing, but that's something we're gonna have to live with. I'm gonna actually have the other half of this tart. It's quite good. Putting more cookies into the oven. It's at 5 minutes exactly, which works out. Someone's gonna be mad at me for not baking my cookies correctly. So this, in theory, is supposed to be the brick red that we expect. Okay, okay. Is this the Catan brick red that we were expecting? Hey, that's not too bad.
Fairly close.
I feel like if I added a little bit of yellow.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to be the green. That actually looks a lot better.
Yeah. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah. I think I might have put too much red in this one though. So
Yeah,
this is not
like cheese less than green.
If this is off, it's on me.
This looks a little.
Yeah, this is a little off. Yeah, I'm looking at the picture up here. It should be a lot more yellow. I put too much red, I think. Sorry, that's not too bad.
It's not that bad, yeah.
Okay. So this is our brick one.
Like,
I'm wonderful at decorating, if you can't tell. This is my worst skill. Making food look good is so difficult. This is a forest and brick tile, I guess. It's an expansion we're building right now. That's what this is for.
I see.
This is so sweet. I want to put so little of the frosting on here because, like, I don't know, it might be too much. This is the best I can decorate things. I am very sorry.
All right, Master Chef, what do we got?
Okay, so we have our appetizer here, which is the caramelized pear and sheep's milk.
It's okay, we already got all this.
Tart. Yeah.
Daniel, Adam, yeah, let's try it.
Yep.
I don't like it as much as I thought I would.
Okay, that's fair.
I could see the texture being really good if it was more on the warm side. I think the sugar quantity is a little bit too high for me.
That makes sense too.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it.
And that's obviously a very subjective thing,
Yeah.
which scares me for that because that is like pure sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, I love it. I think if I was to score it, I'd probably give this an 8 out of 10. Probably add a little bit less sugar, like not that much. I do think this sugar is a little bit higher than I would normally put, but I think it's because the pears were a lot sweeter than I expected them to be. But following the exact recipe, you never know how sweet the pears you use are going to be.
But I would give it a 7 out of 10.
That's fair.
I like it.
We have the side dish, which is the chili.
And we're trying with tortilla chips.
We're supposed to start with corn chips, apparently,
okay.
but
Close
tortilla chips it is. What do you think? I'm gonna try with the.
Maybe I need to eat it without the tortilla chips.
Yeah. Okay. I actually like it a lot more now.
I like chili in general, so I think I'm always gonna like skew my rating higher. But it's not as sweet as I thought it was gonna be.
Because I think after putting the mushroom broth in, it fixed it. Like it did a lot more.
And maybe it's because I'm hungry, but I'm gonna give this 8. I actually quite like it.
Yeah. I think this is a solid 7. If this was marketed as a minestrone, then I'd give it an 8 or a 9.
I don't taste any serrano at all.
It's because there's only one
Must be our Asian preferences coming in.
Also, by the way,
Yeah.
EM definitely stole most of the bites out of like a lot of the cheese and sour cream, which I think.
Oh,
That's
right,
fine.
which we didn't have, yeah. This one took the longest by far to make.
Yeah, we started this. This is the one that I'm the most excited for. I'm actually pretty happy about how it turned out.
I will preface this in saying I'm usually not like a big fan of risotto, Okay, I feel like I'm enjoying it, but it will get old for me really fast.
That's fair.
Whereas the chili, I wouldn't. Actually, I'd be okay just eating a bowl of it.
Yeah. Also, for some reason, there's not that many mushrooms left in our specific portion of it.
I didn't see any.
There's a lot. There's so many mushrooms. I think the rice that I used maybe wasn't the right type. Because they had like a specific type of rice or any short grain rice, and I just used a generic short grain rice. But I really like the flavor. I think personally, my score for it as like a risotto specifically, I think I'm going to give it like a 6. I think I've had way better risottos before that are like creamier. But I think it actually might come down to more my technique and the specific rice that I chose.
I was torn between a 6 and a 7, but when he mentioned the greediness of it, I took that second bite. I was feeling that.
Yeah,
so I'll give it a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, then we try the cookies.
All right.
Wow, this would be the most we eat out of all of them, I think.
Huh?
This is like the biggest portion we'll eat out of all the dishes.
Oh, that's true. It's too sweet for me. But I think part of that might be influenced by the fact that I know exactly how much sugar I put into this.
If I had to finish this, I would really dislike it.
Yeah.
But eating like a bite is okay with me.
Yeah.
But I did realize after my second bite, it's like really dry. Like I almost drank out of this instinctively just because of how dry it was. Yeah, it's sweet, but not so much so I'm like gagging. But the 2/3 mark, I was really feeling it.
It was like 3 bites in. I was definitely feeling like there was a visceral reaction.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Oh, that's not bad. I give it a 4.
Oh, I gave it a 3.
We didn't
I
even
gave it
take
a
the
3.
second hand up.
Yeah, it was the dryness that really got me.
Yeah,
I
that's
almost
true.
rated
That's
a 4.
true. Last thing, we have the victory point punch to celebrate our victory.
All right, a victory over Catan. It's definitely not flavorless.
I actually like this.
It's not flavorless.
You know what I would do? Okay, no, this is me suggesting edits to the recipe already. I should give it a score first.
How long has this been sitting out?
For probably like an hour or so.
Hour? Maybe more, no?
Maybe
2
longer.
hours?
Yeah, maybe 2 hours.
So when you said you put salt, I was like, really? I don't taste any of the fizz.
Yeah, the fizz is probably gone at this point.
Go.
6.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm judging it as if it did have carbonation. I'm kind of
Oh, okay.
filling in the blanks.
If it
yeah.
had carbonation, I think I'd give it a 7. Let's assume it's made with carbon. Yeah, I'd give it a 7. Functionally, you can't carbonate a pitcher drink easily unless you plan on drinking it instantly, right? Like, if I'm making this for a party or for like a board game event, right? Which is, let's be honest, what you're probably going to make this for, right? Like, you make this for a board game event, it's going to sit in the corner of your table for a long time and it's going to lose all of its carbonation. It feels like it's not well designed for the occasion.
That's it for all these. Overall, these went a lot better than I thought. I thought more of them would be around like the 5 range.
Yeah. This was on average better than I thought it was going to be, which is impressive because I read the recipes for everything and I was like a little bit disappointed. If I was to do this again, I could probably do this in like half the time.
So what about the cookbook? Do you think it's pretty solid?
Yeah, I think outside of a few trip ups, like one trip up honestly, just the order of operations with turning the oven on and then waiting for stuff to chill.
Sorry, I just got very distracted looking who actually made this cookbook. There's no person it's attributed to.
Oh really?
Yeah, I couldn't find anything. Asmodee. Yeah.
Really? No.
Because normally it's like, oh, this is a accredited chef who made this. They've had so many cookbooks under their name.
That's
There's
crazy.
nothing.
No, it doesn't say who
Could it
made
be
it.
signed by someone or something?
Yeah, you'd think. This, honestly, this is an AI and then edited cookbook. There's no way. I doubt it. Yeah, it feels like they just took a bunch of like really famous recipes and then just branded it differently, added like a paragraph of flavor text and called it a day.
Yeah, it's like, wow, it's a burger. That must mean Catan, right?
Which is great because Catan doesn't have flavor text, so at least you know they can make it. You were mentioning earlier there feels like a bait and switch, where it's like you open up the cookbook expecting like cool Catan themed recipes or something, and it's like, here's cookies, but they're in the shape of a hex.
Here's a bunch of puns that will make you think like it's Catan.
Yeah.
But not when you're eating it.
It's kind of difficult to figure out how to make Catan themed recipes because we were really thinking about that too. Like, how would we fix that? I don't know if that's really an easy thing to do.
It's like video games like Zelda or Final Fantasy. They have like cooking in the game and you can cook that. But there's no cooking in Catan.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of dry if you think about it of a game.
Yeah. The hexagonal cookies are probably the closest I could get.
Yeah, maybe something that's like very, very clearly like wheat and cheap.
me, like I just didn't pick the Catan theme, the most Catan themed stuff out of here. Like I was just flipping through and I was looking for the things that I knew I could make in a day.
Okay, longest road.
The
though.
longest road.
It's the longest road.
Trail mix. The Forager's veggie platter and the Forest Dweller's dip is literally just like ranch with veggies. It's probably the one and only cooking video that's coming out.
It's like, oh my god, it's a lot of work. But we did it for Catan. We did it for the viewers. We did it because Catan.
I needed to know.
Yeah, we need to know how it
I
went.
saw the cookbook and I had to know how it was.
That's Catan and food. I never would have imagined we would turn our board gaming into cooking, but the crossover was real. 5 dishes in one day, and the white American-leaning recipes impressed us. Turned out to be a family experience too. Even Grandma got to try the sugar cookies.
Marca. 9.
9? 9 out of 10.
Good.
Thank you, Pati.
Despite the cookbook kind of feeling like a bait and switch in terms of being Catan themed, the recipes do work for a game night.
Yeah, how do I make this board game theme?
We just had to try it because it was Catan themed, right? Oh yeah, here's Daniel and Adam trying the tart real quick.
This is definitely an 8 out of 10. Also,
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe flavor.
But like, it tastes good. Like, I'd give it an 8.
Hopefully this inspires you to get cooking for some good food and good times with friends. Because if we can do it in our chaotic way, I'm sure you can too. We basically just wrecked ourselves with this. This is like so much work.
That was a difficult challenge.
Do cooking shows.
All right, thank you guys for watching.
Well, thank
we
you.
did it. Thank you to our patrons for making these crazy videos possible. This was quite a day. Yeah, we did it. We did it, Pranav.
We've been cooking since 11 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you to our Mad Lads of Cardboard for making videos like this possible. Over here. Yeah. Comment below to see what crazy thing you want Pranav to do next.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We'll suck him into something.
We should get into pottery next.
Catan pottery.
Oh, maybe not Catan pottery. All right, cool.
All right, what? Yeah, let's cut it.
We'll call it a day.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, what a day.
It's like the filming process. It does actually hurt the food though quite a bit because like the word always stressed me the importance of like.
I started around
plating,
9.
like-
Okay. That's wonderful. That's my favorite thing so far. Easily. That was so good.